Ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of inspiration and realness. Also, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of positivity, personality, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, and now the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Big Beefy E himself from his Big Beefy Man Cave in New Bedford, Massachusetts, Mr. Shenanigans himself, and the two-time Chilling 3000 2022 End of the Year Awards winner, Eric Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. This is episode 337 of the show. This will be a two-parter episode. One part will be the NXT event center that happened just recently, just about over an hour ago. It just got over, and the NXT Vengeance Day picks to win predictions. That's where I'm going to make my picks to win, because all the matches are set for this Saturday. And a rumor has it this Saturday is going to be the coldest day ever, so here in New Bedford. So I'm not looking forward to that, but at least it's going to be a nice day to be. So, let me just yank this out. That's what we're done. Here, as far as that is concerned. And here we go. Alright. Tag team matchup in action to start off on NXT as the Creed brothers go up against Indus Sher as the team of Sangha and Veer Mahan with Jinder Mahal. And then after an accidental bump on Ivy Nile, the Indus Sher did pick up the victory. Axiom was watching an NXT UK match between Tyler Bate and A-Kid, wink wink. And Tyler Bate stopped by to watch, and they said, "What happened to A-Kid?" Wink, wink, and all that. Damon Kemp interrupts them, insults them in their style of wrestling, after both of them had challenged each other to a friendly matchup. Indy Hartwell was telling the women's locker room about her experience in the Royal Rumble. Zoe Stark interrupts her, as Zoe Stark was bragging about she lasted longer than Indy Hartwell. So they had a one-on-one matchup, and Zoe Stark, and they had their one-on-one matchup, which Zoe Stark did pick up the victory. But however, Stark was attacking Hartwell after the matchup. Then Sol Ruka, who stood up for Indy Hartwell against Zoe Stark, decided to run to the ring to stop Zoe Stark. The Schism cut a promo on the triple threat match, accusing the other two teams of being selfish and all that. In the New Day Invitational Triple Threat match, and they decided to try to see if they can get the tag team titles, or a shot at the tag team titles of Vengeance Day. Apollo Crews was standing on top of a building in South Carolina. Cut a promo on Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews cut a promo on Carmelo Hayes about the 2 out of 3 falls with the matchup. Then Wesley came to the arena, to the ring, to cut a promo on Dijak. Dijak comes out. He says, "Enjoy it while you can. That title is going to be mine." And then Von Wagner and Mr. Stone interrupts both men, and they say, "How come I'm getting overlooked?" And then Wesley goes, "You know what? There's some injustice here." And then Dijak thought that Wesley's playing Dijak. You keep your mouth shut. So, and then Dijak took a swing at Wesley, instead hits Wagner. Both Wagner and Dijak brawl. Referees came out. Shawn Michaels says he'll get the match set up. So, battle of two big men, Dijak and Von Wagner. It was a heck of a fight. Dijak did win the matchup. Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo, the underboss, says, "I can't stand Dijak. Let's forget about Dijak. What business you have ordered?" So, and he says, "Well, I have one business order and done, and let's see if I can get the other business order." So they had the McKean Alliance medical update. The surgery went successful. She's trying to get rehab in the back. And hold on just a second. The McKean Alliance, this is for you. Got your shirt. If you're watching, got your shirt. Ready to pounce. That's right. So this is my way of saying get well in the Keen Alliance. So So Mackenzie Mitchell was breaking down, analyzing what was going on in the parking lot. NXT female superstars. Seems like Elektra Lopez and Viola Vice have joined forces. Wendy Chu was sitting in a car. She witnessed it. Tiffany Stratton was taken up. And then you get Zoe Stark, who is the number one suspect in the attacking Nikita Lyons because of her history. So nobody has ever stepped forward to saying they attacked Nikita Lyons, and whoever did is going to regret the day they ever did. Because this lady, when she comes to kick some butt. That's right. When this lady comes back to the ring, she's going to kick some butt. All right. And then they had the inside look between Braun Breaker and Grayson Waller, steel cage match for the title. A little bit more on that. And Tyler Bate and Axiom went one-on-one. It was a heck of a matchup. The match could have gone either way, hole for hole, move for move, but Tyler Bate didn't win the matchup. And as the two shook hands, Damon Kemp shoved Axiom into Tyler Bate, knocking Bate out of the ring. And then Damon Kemp started beating the crap out of Axiom, and Tyler Bate chased him off. And Island Dawn and Alba Fire were doing some kind of ritual where the initiation to Alba Fire, and I think Alba Fire knew what she needed to do, and she hopes that joining forces with Island Dawn could help her get the job done and winning championships. Let's find out for sure. So, Mackenzie Mitchell's going to be to Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams about Apollo Crews, and he's saying, you know what, we're going to show Apollo Crews, we're going to find out, we're going to show him who we are. That's basically what he says. Big Joseph and Booker T sit down interview with Roxanne Perez and Toxic Attraction. But Toxic Attraction keeps running their mouths while after Roxanne was talking about her experience in the Royal Rumble. JC Jane was doing more of the talking, than Gigi Dolan. They're both running their mouths, and then they said so many insulting things that forced Roxanne Perez to basically walk up the interview, and then Vic Joseph goes, "Great going, you disrespect her." But then all of a sudden she came out of nowhere attacking Toxic Attraction referees, officials, trying to separate these two. It's a little bit on the crazy side. And then Stevie Turner made her debut against Danny Palmer. Stevie Turner won the matchup. And then Kiana James was on the phone for somebody named Zach saying, "I love you," and hung up the phone. Fallon Henley's, "Who was you talking to?" "Great. I knew you were going to bring..." You don't know anything. They start arguing. The women's tag team champions, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, showed up. Say, "Hey, you know, Chance, yeah, we've been friends for a long time." "Yeah. Well, you know what? We might maybe just form a team. We'll get it together." And then Fallon Henley goes, "We got to focus on the tag team title match, and this conversation with this is not over," as Fallon Henley was saying to Kiana James. Well, we'll see who this Zach that Kiana James was talking to, for sure. Drew Gulak went one-on-one with Charlie Dempsey, and Gulak didn't win the matchup despite Knight accidentally knocking Hank Walker over. Then Mr. Stone, and Von Wagner was getting upset after another loss. Mr. Stone goes, "You know what? We need to help me to help you. I want to get to know you. Please, help me, help you so I can manage you better." And you know what? Mr. Stone is on the money. Von Wagner needs to show who you are inside. And I think Mr. Stone's trying to hit the right notes of Von Wagner. Hopefully it resonates, and hopefully it will help Von Wagner out. And then the triple threat New Day Invitational, Chase U, that's Duke Hudson and Andre Chase, versus the Dyad, Rhett Fowler, Jagger Reed, and then Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. And the matchup was crazy, and then during the closing ends of the match, Ava Rain tried to get involved, and then Thea Hale made like Ava Rain's father, telling her to know her role and shut her mouth, and knocked her off the apron. But then Andre Chase tagged in Duke Hudson, and then they hit the Fratliner, 1, 2, 3. Chase U will be going to Vengeance Day, and New Day is applauding them, and they say, "We'll see you all at Vengeance Day." Now for part 2 of the video, here we go. NXT Vengeance Day, the match is set. It's time for me to make my picks and predictions for NXT Vengeance Day. And we're going to rock and roll, strut and stroll, and here we go. And here are the official matches. I think I told you about them already. Let's recap, and some of the parentheses are stipulations. NXT title on the line in a steel cage. Braun Breaker defends against Grayson Waller. NXT Women's title on the line, which is a 3 right here. It's a triple threat. Roxanne Perez defending against Toxic Attractions, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane. NXT Tag Team titles will be on the line in a fatal 4-way matchup. New Day defends against Pretty Deadly, Gallus, and Chase U. Pretty Deadly is Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. Gallus, Wolfgang, and Mark Coffey, and Chase U, obviously Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. North American title on the line, Wes Lee defending against Dijak. The women's tag team titles are on the line. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter to defend against Fallon Henley and Kiana James. And the 2 out of 3 falls matchup, Apollo Crews versus Carmelo Hayes. Now this could make or break any NXT superstar and who goes up where. Now, I got a humongous hunch now. I know, will a title change hands? We still got Stand and Deliver to deal with here. So I'll tell you what's going on. Braun Breaker versus Grayson Waller. I'm going to pick Grayson Waller to win because I got a hunch that Braun Breaker is going to get called up in the main roster. Who knows? WrestleMania, he'll make his debut. We got one guy that made his debut at WrestleMania and won. That would be Fandango when he went up against Chris Jericho and won at WrestleMania a few years back. I got a hunch that Roxanne Perez could end up outsmarting. I love Gigi Dolan. She's my favorite, but I'm going to go with Roxanne Perez to retain the title. So there's that. Now, New Day, Pretty Deadly, and Gallus and Chase U. Now, New Day's going to lose these belts and go back up to the main roster. So who's going to win this one? I think the Gallus boys, the Gallus firm, will be on top. Gallus boys on top. All right, Wes Lee, Dijak. You know what? Despite the odds going against Lee, I'm picking him to retain the title. So far, okay, the Women's Tag Team Championship, I'm looking for KC Squared. That's Katana Chance. KC Squared. That's what I call them. Team KC, that's Katana Chance and Kaden Carter to retain the titles because Henley and James are going to have a falling out. And in the end, Apollo Crews versus Carmelo Hayes. In the 2 out of 3 falls, I pick Carmelo Hayes because I know Trick Williams will have a part in it. Here's the final picks to win. NXT title, I pick Waller over Breaker because I think Breaker's going to be up in the main roster. Either Raw or SmackDown. Women's title, Roxanne Perez will retain over Toxic Attraction because they're going to have a falling out. The tag team titles, Gallus Boys on top because New Day is can go back up to the main roster. Go back to SmackDown, I should say. The North American title, Wes Lee over Dijak. And the, I gotta make sure I'm looking at you guys. How you doing? Team KC Squared, that's Katana Chase and Kaden Carter over Fallon Henley, Kiana James. They're going to have a falling out. And Kamala Hayes over Apollo Crews in the 2 out of 3 falls. So these are my picks. Tell me what your picks are at the bottom. All right? So, that is all the time we have on this show. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Episode 337 of American Shenanigans of 1977. Tomorrow, we're going to do a little Joker's Wow. And then we got AEW Dynamite and all that good stuff. Tuning in. And beware, the weekend cold is coming. And I mean coming real soon. The weekend cold. Talking about less than 30 degrees in the teens. It'll be below 0. Man, it's going to be cold. Alright, so I'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. And until the next episode comes around, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget production. And in association with A Sweet Bowl for Raving Dingleberries Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another great episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Until the next episode, goodbye for now.